So, the NBA draft is almost upon us, and I thought it would be pretty cool to do one of these videos. I'm going to do my own NBA mock draft. I'm just going to let you guys know now that I do not follow college basketball, and I have no idea what I'm actually doing or what any player is, so if you want an uneducated version of a mock draft, you found the right video, mate. Because trust me, I know maybe the top 5 prospects, if that, and yeah, we're going to be doing the entire lottery, so the last bit of the lottery could be very, very interesting. If you have not already, be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. Follow us on all the new socials, links down in the description below. Help us out a whole bunch. We're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers on here, so if you haven't subscribed, it means a lot. Appreciate it. But let's get into today's mock draft, as uneducated as it could be. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be jumping into 2K, going into the draft. We currently control every single NBA team, and we're going to be doing the top 14 picks in the draft. I'll go through every single player, why I think they should draft them, and basically what I think should happen. Literally, the only reason I'm kind of interested in the draft this year is because my team's got the 2nd overall pick. That's the only reason. So, with pick number 1, I think it's pretty obvious. It's unanimous. Cade Cunningham. I'm pretty sure it's pretty unanimous that Cade's going to be going number 1 to the Pistons. They kind of need a small forward. Yeah, they've got Sadiq Bey, but also point guard as well. Cade Cunningham, he's just the best player in the draft, mate. There's not much else I can really say. He's the best player in the draft. He's probably going to go number 1. And there's really no questions asked about it. Even though they have players that play his position, he's the best player available, and the Detroit Pistons are going to be taking Cade Cunningham with the number 1 overall pick. With the 2nd overall pick, we do have the Houston Rockets selecting here. Personally, as a Rockets fan, I think that the Rockets are going to be trading away this pick. I have 2 players potentially going here. Evan Mobley or Jalen Suggs. I think one of these players are good enough for Houston. I don't think they're going to get Evan Mobley because they do have Christian Wood, and they've already noted that Christian Wood is probably going to be their starting center for the future, hopefully anyway, unless plans have changed. This is what I've heard. So I think Jalen Suggs is a point guard, potentially could come off the bench for the first season behind John Wall, or even potentially start, although we do have Kevin Porter Jr. So there's a few options that we could do here. I think it's between Evan Mobley and Jalen Suggs. Personally, I do see people have Jalen Green going number 2 as well. I just think Jalen Green's game overlaps too much with Kevin Porter Jr. So I think the 2 players at the Rockets I'm not going to be trading or getting rid of is Christian Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. Probably Jae'Sean Tate as well. I think the Rockets aren't going to be moving on from him. So that leaves a point guard or a power forward. And I think Jalen Suggs is probably the best option for the Rockets here to be behind John Wall. Potentially could trade away John Wall's contract this offseason if they can. So yeah, the number 2 pick, I'm going Jalen Suggs. Pick number 3 is owned by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And, I mean, clearly there is not a lot that the Cavs can do. They've got 2 guards that they could potentially build around. They have Jarrett Allen as a center. Who else they got? They probably need a power forward because they're probably going to be moving on from Kevin Love, probably either this off-season or midway through the season. Hopefully they can get off that contract. Kevin Love does not want to be in Cleveland, let's say that. He probably is going to get traded, hopefully, to a contender. That's why I think there's 2 players that could go here as well. Evan Mobley or Scotty Barnes. And considering Evan Mobley can shoot the 3 ball quite well, I think at number 3, Cleveland should pick him up and play him at the power forward and run Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley in the front court. The 4th pick is owned by the Toronto Raptors. Luckily, they have the 4th overall pick here. And as well, here, they need probably another guard, considering they're going to be moving on from Kyle Lowry this offseason, or Kyle Lowry's going to sign elsewhere. And pretty easy. They run Fred VanVleet at the point. They take Jalen Green at the 2 and have Jalen Green as their new starting shooting guard. That's probably one of their simplest picks around here. I think the Raptors would be crazy if they don't take Jalen Green if he's still on the board. Now, this is going to sound weird, but with this 5th overall pick the Orlando Magic do have, I think they should get themselves a starting shooting guard. They've got Markelle Fultz at the point guard. They have Jonathan Isaac at the power forward. They've got Wendell Carter Jr. at the center. What they need is a small forward or a shooting guard. And I think if they go pick up a shooting guard, a player such as James Borknight or something like that. I can't pronounce his last name. Let me know how you say it down in the comments down below. But I think at the 5th overall pick, they need a starting shooting guard, and I think James could be someone like that for them. He's decent enough to, you know, be a good enough playmaker, good enough shooter to be at the 2. I think they could probably develop him. They definitely don't need front court players. They've got plenty of centers and forwards to play. The Magic need guards, and I think James Borknight could be one of those guards for the Orlando Magic at the 5th overall pick. So our top 5 is rounded out with Kay Cunningham going to the Pistons, Jalen Suggs to the Rockets, Evan Mobley to the Cavs, Jalen Green to the Raptors, and James Borknight going to the Orlando Magic. That's our top 5. The Thunder have the 6th overall pick, and I think if Jonathan Kuminga's still here, why not? You're in full rebuild mode. You'd have a starting 5 of Shai Gilgeous, Lou Dort, Jonathan Kuminga. I just realized they've also got Kemba Walker on their team. So they could run Kemba, Shai Gilgeous, Jonathan Kuminga, and then they could also have Moses Brown, Al Horford, or anything they want to do there. So I think a forward would be very, very good. And if Jonathan Kuminga is still there, easy, Jonathan Kuminga at the small forward for the OKC Thunder. At the 7th overall pick, we have the Golden State Warriors selecting here. So if we go here, go to the Warriors, and guess who's still, if Scotty Barnes is still available, perfect. They need a forward, probably bigs that they can use that can defend. Scotty Barnes can do that, space the floor. He's good perimeter defender, which is what the Warriors need. Scotty Barnes, perfect for the Golden State Warriors here at 7. The Magic have the 8th overall pick, and once again, like I said, they need a shooting guard and a small forward. Considering they have just drafted a shooting guard, I think a small forward could be the best option here. And I think a nice player that they could potentially take is Jalen Johnson. He's a good small forward. He's a good shooter. He's decent. Defense can get better, but I think shooting wise, inside scoring, they need a small forward, and Jalen Johnson available. I'd say that the Magic should take up Jalen Johnson. They've drafted a shooting guard and a small forward in this year's draft. I think that would be a success for the Orlando Magic. With the 9th overall pick, the Sacramento Kings have it, and I think personally they've got De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes, so a shooting guard or a small forward would be perfect for them. And I'd say Keontae Johnson at the pick number 9. He's a shooting guard, small forward that potentially could be doing well with De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. I think that could potentially be someone really, really good. Keontae Johnson going at pick 9 to the Sacramento Kings. Now, with the 10th overall pick, we do have the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans, I think, have a lot of talent on their team, but I think they can improve at the shooting guard position, which is a lot of teams' problems right now. And I'd say the best shooting guard still available is Moses Moody. I'd say if Moses goes to the Pelicans, he'll have a decent career alongside Lonzo Ball if they decide to keep him, and also Zion and Brandon Ingram. So, that's our top 10. We're going to round it out. I'll show you guys. The Pistons take Cade Cunningham. The Rockets take Jalen Suggs. The Cavaliers take Evan Mobley. The Raptors take Jalen Green. James Borknight goes to the Magic. The Thunder take Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors take Scotty Barnes. Orlando take Jalen Johnson. The Sacramento Kings take Keontae Johnson. And the Pelicans take Moses Moody as our top 10. So, we're only going to do 4 more picks so that the lottery is done. The Charlotte Hornets have the 11th overall pick. And personally, I might be a little bit biased, but I think the Hornets should take a risk and take on Josh Giddey from Australia. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Pair him with LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. I think that would be one hell of a young trio. They could also go with a center, but I wouldn't personally go with a center if I was the Hornets. San Antonio Spurs have the 12th overall pick, and at 12, the Spurs either need backup point guard or a better starting power forward, because they can't be starting bloody Keldon Johnson at the 4. So I think Usman Garuba, if he goes, is he still there? I know he hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but they need a power forward, and Usman Garuba could potentially be that person. And I think if he's going to develop, he'll develop in San Antonio. At 13, the Pacers, they could probably, I don't know what they could really use. They've got a nice young core. But at the 13th overall pick, if they want to back up, I'd say Corey Kispert, take the best available player. I think Corey will probably be the best available player if the draft goes down like this, though. I think he could be someone decent that could develop or even potentially start instead of TJ Warren, depending on what the Pacers want to do. And the Warriors, with the 14th overall pick, they can do whatever they would like. I think, once again, they'll probably want to take a small forward. The best available small forward will be Zaire Williams, probably, if it goes down like this. So I'd say Zaire would be a potential good pick for the Golden State Warriors here in the lottery at the 14th overall pick. So guys, here is the recap of my top 14 picks. So the draft lottery, we have Cade Cunningham going number 1, Jalen Suggs number 2, Evan Mobley number 3, Jalen Green number 4, James Burknight at 5. Then we have Kuminga at 6, Scotty Barnes at 7, Jalen Johnson at 8, Keontae Johnson at 9, and Moses Moody at 10. Then we have Josh Giddey at 11, Usman Garuba at 12, Corey Kisper at 13, and Zaya Williams at 14. So that's my mock draft for the lottery. Let me know what you guys think of this mock draft down in the comments down below. Let me know who you think I missed out on, who you think could potentially go where. Like I said at the beginning, I am not exactly very educated at the draft lottery, mock drafts and all that stuff, but I thought I'd give you my thoughts on what I think could potentially happen. And considering my team has a 2nd overall pick, I'll give it a proper look and see what goes down. But anyway, like I said, leave a comment what you guys think down in the comments down below. But I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow me on all socials, links down in the description below. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!